Hello everyone, this is Cass of Mad Alchemy Comics, and I'm here to bring you another Samurai Troopers episode breakdown. Today's episode will be episode 12, titled Epilogue. So let's get into it. So for what seems to be a final episode of the series, or the season, this is a very battle-rich episode, a lot of combat in it, which I'm very happy to see. You're starting out the episode where you see Guy cutting to the song that he likes to sing, which is interesting because in this episode you kind of see what Guy's actual demon form was, and it's an interesting demon form. So we still have to touch on, is he really human or is he actually a demon? And I guess he is in fact a demon. He's singing this song, and then it's cutting to in the beginning of the season where he's, on the ground and he's killing the people, and the invasion generally happens. Then it gives you a soft recap up to that point that they are now. Starting with now Ryo and Guy facing on Ramaga. Ryo immediately transforms in this episode. Now this is where the nostalgia starts to kick in. So Ryo fights Ramaga, and Guy is helping, and Ramaga ends up on the back foot. Ramaga needing an actual body to utilize the Emperor armor more, he takes on Saizo's body. In this process, he gets a little boost, and he is able to combat the guys. But in the process of this, it cuts back to the base where you see Mia and Yuri praying over one of the mirrors. The mirror allows him to hone in on things in the Ramaga's castle and find things. Now, one of the things that he finds is the original Samurai Troopers. Sending White Blaze to release them from their captivity, all the remaining 4 of the Samurai Troopers have now come to the field. In their weakened state, they help Ryo do something that is kind of interesting, because this brings some things back from the old series that we thought were kind of retconned out. But it seems that they are able to allow Ryo to tap into the white infernal armor. So Ryo and Ramaga are now in their optimal forms, and now you see the white infernal armor and the Emperor armor doing combat. Ramaga getting the upper hand, Guy tosses the Sword of Domination, and that allows Ryo to utilize his special attack and remove Saizo from the body of Ramaga. Seeming to be done and defeated, Ramaga begins to take all the negative energy from the people around him that he made puppets from the previous episode. So now he's taken in this energy, and now he's gone back to his original state. Now Ryo's kind of fighting, and they get knocked out, and he, goes back on the back foot to talk to Guy. Guy steps in to transform, and he tries to fight him. They Ryo and Guy have a brief interaction. Then Guy goes in for the fight, and it finds out that in the midst of the fight, Guy gets his body taken. So now, after losing Saizo's body, Ramaga gets Guy. Now he's in his optimal form, and he's now running the gauntlet on everybody, and he's running wild. Cutting into the inside of Ramaga's body, Guy is able to find his way out due to a brief interaction he had with Ryo, where he allows him to utilize that bell that Ryo used, and he is able to take control of Ramaga, back control, and he gives Saizo the sword, telling Saizo to end it immediately, so he can, this can be over. Saizo reluctant, he begs him. They cut to those songs and stuff like that. It's cool. It's growing on me, but he lets Kaido know that it doesn't matter because we're demons and the sword won't hurt me. So like, it will beat Ramaga and I'll be fine. So Kaido stabs him, but this turns out to be kind of a bluff, and it does in fact hurt Guy as well as Ramaga. So Ramaga is now like kaput out the body and kind of sealed in Guy. So now Guy has to finish out his self by launching himself in some kind of purifying lake of fire. This goes back to the lady who has the other higher up guys that you saw in the previous, like In May and May and all those guys. I gotta remember their names, but she congratulates Guy on doing what he needs to do, and she strikes it all down, and Guy is now going to leap off the building and going to the lake, which this is in fact what he does. Going into that molten lake, he rises out and he's kind of like a molten form. This leads the guys knowing that he's defeated and Ramaga is sealed and everybody wins and everybody's happy and everybody goes on about their day and everyone's free from their puppet forms, and a lot of things seem on the surface to be wrapped up pretty well. Until we go to a certain period where we cut back to that upper area of light, and they say now it's they can do what they need to do and make their move. So apparently we are getting a second half. I don't think it's a second season, but it's like a second cycle. So the season is not over, it seems. So now we're going to see what happens going into the second half of the season. But one of the major things is one of the things that I'm kind of happy about is Ryusei is indeed still alive, and he's now working with the upper heaven area, and just to see what their plan is. So overall, the guys have won. The upper heaven area is about to make their move. Oh, also, I'm kind of happy about this, but Sasuke, they completely abandoned Ramaga near the end. So I hope Sasuke and the remaining Dark Emperors kind of, help the guys in the second half of the season. So there's a lot of setup for the second half of the first season or the first cycle, which will be in July, I believe. So overall, this was a good first half. Set up a lot of information, a lot of good things came from it, and now the Ronin Warriors, or the original 5, are back, and we have the Dark Emperors, coming back as well, or doing separating from Ramaga. So hopefully they have a lot of allies going into the second half of the season, which is good because they lost a lot of allies as well. So Guy might be coming back as well, but overall, this was a good first half. Going into the second strong, and I hope we get some good stuff from the second half. So what did you guys think of the Samurai Troopers 2026 first half, and what do you think we can get from the second half going forward? I'm really excited. I hope you guys too, and I'll see you guys in July for some more reviews. Thank you guys, and have a good day.